I think it's all similar. It's all communication, right? Like you're communicating the worldview. And now with where the marketplace is and how much economic opportunity there is out there, there's a lot of brothers that have multiple ventures.
Hot 97 Street Glory with your boy DJ Tony Tone. I got an honor here. Ruslan in the building.
Indy Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this here scenario. Here we go.
Hot 97. DJ Tony Tone.
I've seen a lot, man. From where it's been to where it's at. I love where we're at. Diversity is just bananas. But it was just, you know, really East Coast. Now, again, you got Florida, you know what I mean? You got, you know what I'm saying, Canada, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got, you know, Africa, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people all over the place now in the game, you know what I mean? And so, you know, and musically, it's, you can hear the sound, you know what I'm saying? You hear the differences. So for me as a DJ, man, I love it because now it's...
Makes your job a little easier.
Oh, man, it makes it, you know...
Or harder because maybe there's more music that you got to sift through.
Yeah. But I started in, like, with, like, 2010.
Gotcha. You've been for a minute.
On the outside, it looks one way, but when you start working in it, when you start being in it, it's a different animal. But I mean, again, I wouldn't. I mean, this is what God called me to do, so I wouldn't trade it. Dope. But you know, being on this side, you see it from a different perspective of how other people see it.
Right.
And then once you see it, you know, because then now you get the whole picture. You don't get it from just one side, you get it from both sides. And so now you got the whole picture. And when you got the whole picture, it's a different story. You know, you gotta kind of be built for it. You know, everybody just think it's just the lights or whatever. So much.
Like my mentality is different. I got an immigrant mentality. So when people see lack, I see opportunity. You know, when people see something's missing, I see a void in the marketplace that I can fulfill.
Have you been back over?
I have not. Well, I'm a refugee, so where I'm from, I'm technically not supposed to go back to. I think it's calmed down a lot. I have a Russian and an Azerbaijani last name. So I could go back. My dad, my brother can't because they have Armenian names. And so basically it was the pogroms of Baku was the RZs pushing out the Armenians because of ethnic cleansing. Just wild things. And so now things have settled down, and Baku, where I'm from, is like a tourist location. So I could technically go back, but I haven't had a chance to get back. I want to though.
Stay here, bro. Stay. Don't take the plane over there. So I want to make sure you keep putting out this great music. So
appreciate it. Meeting people, touching people. I think some of that gets lost in this new generation, the SoundCloud, Spotify generation. You got kids that are popping, but they've never shook a fan's hand before. They've never done a show before, and that's something that we've always had the edge on. I feel like is putting on dope live shows, meeting and treating fans well, and I think that ends up spreading organically, and it trickles into other parts, you know. But the touching somebody personally in a musical context is very powerful, and so yeah, I love it, man. It's fun. It's not it's not like we're not rock stars. Like we're doing shows for 50 to 100 people, you know, and. But by the grace of God, like I've been full-time with this for 3 years, you know, and that's just understanding how the marketplace works and the business works.
Question for you. If you wasn't rapping, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be preaching, to keep it a buck with you. My last job was, I was a cinematographer, videographer over all the stuff at my church, which I still attend. So that was 3 years ago. I did that for 2 years. And I loved it, and then I got to preach like 8 times a year on the Sunday morning. So people could probably dig up some old sermons and stuff like that.
I might have to go on YouTube and see if I can find, you know.
You might have to do a little
collar. You got the collar?
No. We very progressive. The church is called The Movement in San Marcos, and I'm still really close to my pastor. But yeah, I'll probably be doing that, or I'll probably be running some kind of business. My father's an entrepreneur, and I'll probably be doing something like that, or a combination of the two.
Well, again, preaching and rapping are kind of synonymous.
I think it's all similar. It's all communication, right? Like you're communicating the worldview, and now with where the marketplace is and how much economic opportunity there is out there, there's a lot of brothers that have multiple ventures. One of my good friends, Pastor Danny, out of Park Slope Tabernacle in Brooklyn. He has a silkscreen business. He has, you know, the God Belongs to My City movement.
It's funny because it reminds me of like in the Bible where where Paul was called to be a preacher, but he, you know, he's making tents on the side.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's commendable, especially if you have the entrepreneurial gift and your brain works that way. I think it's just right to go out and utilize that. I just do my normal show. I don't change my lyrics. You know, but I'm definitely not like preaching.
Right.
Yeah. And then at the end, I just, you know, I kind of like tell my story, and then I know what percentage of our DNA is the same. And people will be like, you know, what's 99%? 1% of our DNA is different. That's what makes us us. And so we divide over that 1%. But like, what if that 1% is what we were created to be? What if that's what gave us our fingerprint, made us unique? Instead of dividing over it, we encourage, embrace it, you know. And then I go into like, you're not an accident.
Right. So just the way that you deliver it, where it's not coming off as
and I still make it like I still land at like, and I believe the way you get to know what you were created for is to know the Creator. You know, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. I'm not here to preach at you. I make it clear that I'm a Christian, and yeah, man. So it's cool. Like, God's definitely giving me influence, and it allows me to. Maybe it's the wrong way of thinking, but it allows me to not be a burden on the church. You know what I mean? And like pull up and have to ask for honorariums, and you know. So a lot of the church stuff we do is just like love offerings, or it's our own ticketed show, you know.
Not everybody's in it for the right reasons, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what, you know. That's what happens.
That's the challenging part now. That becomes frustrating because now, you know, and some guys just aren't even smart at hiding it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, I think that's the flip side. Like when people see that there's money in something, you know, you open up the floodgates. So it's a gift and a curse. So you got major labels now interested. Every major label has some Christian hip hop artist they're trying to sign, or you know what I mean, something they're trying to finesse. Now you got that, and then some of it is like they're like intentionally marketing stuff to the community that's not even reflective of the values. You know what I mean? And so, but the flip side is there's resources, there's money, there's budgets.
At the end of the day, what it does is it puts the gospel in spaces where we just would not have been at. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're able to go places where we just wouldn't have been able to go, you know, because again, once you say we're Christian or gospel or whatever, you'll be, and so now, in some spaces where, you know, people, you know, again, you can get, you know, Sammy on the 8th floor and he's whack, labeling himself as a Christian rapper. You know, he's, you know, oh, I'm looking, you know, not church. Oh, let's get Sammy on the 8th floor instead of Jeff on the 3rd floor. You know what I'm saying? And now
on the 3rd floor is definitely better than Sammy on the 8th floor.
You know what I'm saying? But now people have heard Sammy and they're like, So now Jeff is looked at. So when Jeff comes along, Jeff's like, yo, remember Sammy, man? I don't know. You know what I mean? So now Sammy and Jeff's got a hard time. He got a breakthrough. You know, like us black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, they see us, our color, before they hear us, and so now we gotta fight through that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you're all qualified. You can speak. You're not in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's that kind of thing. So
yeah. Now the tough part is we was talking to Nadira. Is that her name?
Yeah, Nadira.
And so I can imagine, you know, like you have strikes against you. You know what I mean? So black man, Christian hip hop artist, but I can imagine if you're a black woman wrestling with darker shade, who's you know what I mean, a Christian. Like, that's so many things you got to work against just to like get people's attention. You know, and she mentioned that she's like, it's hard, you know, because we either want you to be a tomboy or they want you to look sexy, and then but then you can look, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, I never really thought about it.
That's why I think people were so excited about Black Panther, because there was just a stereotype about what black films or black actors and black actors cannot do. Not mind you, Wesley Snipes proved them wrong, Denzel Washington proved them wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, these actors that came before this had already done some.
I feel like the 90s was like a different era for some reason, though, in terms of like black films and, superheroes.
I mean, again, but even if you go further than that, you had Sidney Poitier, you know what I'm saying? You had, Richard Pryor. I mean, again, it's not like we haven't done. Yeah. We've done it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But again, it's whoever, my pastor said, whoever controls the language controls the conversation. So again, depending on who's running stuff determines, what they allow to get out.
You can't ascribe to be something
you've never seen before.
That's a bar. Yeah. It's so simple, but so profound. There's a bar, there's a spoken word piece.
Far away from him, incognito. Came in one way, incognito. Not leaving the same. I'm going with the top down, waiting for the countdown. All grace, no wishes, no loans, no interest. Feels good, Tony. We the ones chosen.
Stop, running late here unannounced. Nothing worse than a game with no crown. And I don't fit in to pretend it's blend like a front out of town. God stepped in and said, oh, the account. Now you don't know what to do with the pounds. Take a view of the house, make it true till it's ours. I'm producing amounts, it's a nuisance, the house.
I am so
Ouch.